Ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, I am going to be giving you guys 10 more things that I think are extremely overrated. Try and have fun with this. Please understand it's my own opinions, but as always, you guys are allowed to voice yours in the comments. As far as my plugs go, you guys already know them. Use code WyattzWorld on G Fuel or Prize Picks where you can save yourself a discount on any G Fuel products or match up to $100 of your first deposit. But that's all I got. Let's get into 10 more super overrated things. Alright, so first thing we've got on the list of overrated today is InNOut Burger. Sorry, but not sorry, and let me reiterate this again because I have to do this in every video. Overrated doesn't mean I hate it. It doesn't mean I don't like it. It means I don't think it's as good as the surrounding hype it has. InNOut, I widely see considered one of the best fast food restaurants in the world. People rant and rave over it. People fly to southern states, and that's one of the first places they gotta go, and I know that because I was one of those people. I tried this in Texas. I tried it in Colorado. It is plain, basic fast food. It is nothing special at all. Matter of fact, the burgers really don't have much flavor. With that being said, I will say it is extremely reasonably priced. I'm pretty sure you can get a burger, fry, and a drink for under $10, which you can't do a lot of places still. But acting like InNOut is better than Culver's or A&W, you are out of your mind. Overrated. Next up, I might get roasted for this one, but in-person sporting events, I think they are incredibly overrated. That being said, is seeing a new stadium cool? Absolutely, it's always magnificent. But paying hundreds of dollars to go and pay even more money for food and drinks and then not even being able to really see what's going on and completely understand it, it's not worth it to me. I don't enjoy that. I mean, dude, I have a hard time understanding who is who on the field when I'm that far away, and I don't have enough money to go and sit courtside or on field or anything. Honest answer, if someone came up to me and they're like, hey dude, I got tickets to go to the Timberwolves game tonight, do you want to go? I would actually say I'd rather just watch it at someone's house or go to a bar or something. Everything you need when you're watching a sports game is right in front of you. You don't have to look around for scoreboards. You don't have to try and hear anything. But again, is going to an event, unique, cool? Yes. But I in no way, shape, or form feel like I'm missing out on anything if I am not there. In-person sporting events, overrated. Moving on to the next thing that I think is insanely overrated, casinos. Some states you only have to be 18, some states you have to be 21. Either way, if you're feeling left out because you're not old enough to gamble, do not. They suck. Like, they're so awful. You don't understand it. They're literally rigged. Like, no matter what, I've heard this from actual people who work at casinos, no matter what, every person who walks in the door they look at is an automatic $60. Because even if you do happen to get away, that one time and win $100, your buddy ain't winning, you know that. The guy sitting across from you with his head buried in his hands crying, he didn't win anything. Guys, they wouldn't be open if they were to give money to you. Like, let it click in your head. They're open because they make money, a ton of it. They don't walk around offering you free beverages because they like you. They want to keep you comfortable because they want you to keep gambling. And if you have that one friend that's like, oh, I always win, I never lose, I'm probably positive. Unless they've only gone 1 or 2 times, they are lying. Casinos are horribly overrated. A matter of fact, I advise anybody to just stay out of them. Moving on to the next thing that I find extremely overrated, we got The Rock. And no, I'm not just talking about, the wrestler. I mean, partly, but I'm talking about Dwayne Johnson. Like, he is overrated, I think. I don't think he's a good actor. I think he's the same guy in every single movie. And if you watch Critical's video on him a couple weeks ago, or it's probably a month ago now, I think he sums up perfectly everything that I feel about The Rock. He's just a walking, talking billboard. He doesn't mean anything he actually says. It's just all about looking good. It's all about his brand looking good. The guy's everywhere, and he does the same thing everywhere. Raises the eyebrow, talks about something being badass, plugs Zoa, plugs his movie, plugs Terramana, and then he walks away. And then, yeah, he comes back to WWE, and he thinks he carries his big aura, which maybe he still does with certain people. But to me, yeah, it's cool to see him back, but I don't care to see him in the main event. I don't care to see him surrounding the big title. I don't care about any of that. He's not that important to me in wrestling anymore. But if you think he's gonna come back and do anything other than the brightest spotlight available, you're mistaken. Now, I don't think he's a horrible person who should be incriminated or anything like that, but I don't get on my hands and knees and kiss his feet like a lot of America seems to, or a lot of the world, I should say. I think The Rock is overrated. All right, moving on to the next thing I find incredibly overrated, we got road trips. Dude, people love road trips. Like, they'll live for them. They're like, yo, dude, it's just a time for you and your buddies to spend time together and be carefree. Boys can be boys, girls can be girls, you know, you're just all going to the same place. Why not make some memories, right? Yeah, what's better than sitting cramped in a car with 4 people who you're gonna get annoyed of within 2 hours, and when you want to sleep, you can't because someone's blaring music or someone's talking? Like, get out of here, man. If I'm in a car for more than 2 hours, I go insane. If I can avoid a road trip, I will avoid it at all costs. I like no part of the road trip, to be completely honest. I love my friends, but sitting in a compact space, like, that's enough to make me crabby alone. But being forced to have constant interaction with people until you arrive at your destination, awful. Not only are road trips overrated, if you're asking me, they suck. All right, moving on to the next thing that I think is overrated is fighting games. And I know some people immediately are gonna be like, you play WWE, that's a little bit different than what I'm talking about. I'm talking the side scroller, Smash Bros, Tekken, Street Fighter, those kind of fighting games. They're incredibly overrated if you ask me, dude. Some people wake up wanting to play that every day. I only play it if I'm with a friend and we're good for like 1 or 2 matches and then we both wanna stop. Like, I just don't get how people find it fun for that long. Like, you're just jumping up and down and punching and jumping up and down and punching. Yeah, there's other moves you can do, but essentially it's the same thing in every game, you know, health bars, and then a character who will fit their course in their own unique moveset. Like, to me, it's just repetitive and ugh. Remember a couple years ago when there was just a ton of them coming out, and I'm pretty sure like 3 of them have died now? Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, Multiverses, there was another one in there. Like, they're just not that good. Fighting games, overrated. All right, moving on to the next overrated thing, we have concerts. I'm sure you guys can tell with the way I feel about sporting events that, yeah, concerts, they're not my thing either, man. I think they're incredibly overrated. Some people will go out of their way and spend hundreds to thousands of dollars on tickets to go see someone perform live where you can't even hear them all that well. You're smelling the sweat of the thousands of other people around you, and you're just standing there clapping and placing and dancing. Like, it sucks. And then we have the other concert, which I dislike just as much, and that's a street dance. You know, when a town calls a band in and they have some bars pull out tents and stuff. Yeah, you might not have to spend a ton of money to go see that, but the trade-off is you're smelling every person who's smoking a cigarette within a mile of you. Also, on top of that, I hate having to shout to my friends to hear them. It sucks. I think concerts are incredibly overrated. Next up, we got Buffalo Wild Wings. I mean, are you kidding me? Okay, if you go to B-Dubs on a Tuesday or a Thursday and you get the buy one, get one chicken wings, it's hard to be upset. It's hard to feel like you're getting ripped off. But if you go there when they're not running that special, it is the most overpriced and overrated restaurant possibly in existence. Every time I go, the wings get smaller and they get colder. They have less sauce. You get less sauce with it. Like, they're just becoming cheaper and cheaper and the chicken is getting worse. Not kidding you. Go to a grocery store. Look at the price of 8 chicken wings. It's about $4 if they're uncooked. Go to B-Dubs and look at the price of what they charge for their 8-piece wings. Like, I get being a business, but you are spending so much on such average food. Also, have you ever had something at B-Dubs that's not chicken wings, like a burger? Ass! Look, there isn't a lot of restaurants out there that I'm gonna give an instant no to, but Buffalo Wild Wings is probably one of 5 that I will. Overrated. Next up, we got first class flying. Oh yeah, this was a big one. This is one that I had heard so many stories about, you know, people flying first class and how awesome it is. I had to do it once because it was the only way I could get home from Texas. The ticket was like $700. Dude, it was the most basic, it was basically just a normal flight. You get a little bit more leg room, you get free cocktails, and if your flight's long enough, you're gonna get this meal that you convince yourself is really good because your tickets were so much, but in reality, it's probably like a $5 breakfast. If you are ever flying somewhere and you're like, oh, I'm gonna be fancy and go first class, you are not getting what you're paying for. You are getting to go on the plane and wait for an hour to take off, and you're getting to get off the plane 10 minutes before everybody else. Like, it is the most unnecessary extra expense on the market today. And the last overrated thing we've got is crystal meth. I did not think it was nearly as good as everyone said it was. I'm just kidding. The last item is actually Red Dead Redemption 2. A lot of you guys have probably heard me talk about this, and if you haven't heard me talk about this, I want you to know I'm 100% serious. I believe genuinely in the bottom of my heart, it is the most overrated video game in the history of gaming. People talk this game up like it's the most non-stop fun adventure you're ever gonna have, and in reality, you are riding on a horse and following people around and fetching things for 60 hours. The combat, slowing and clunky and it sucks. The shooting sucks. Riding on a horse, you're going so slow. You want to walk through camp to go talk to someone? It's gonna take you an hour because you can't run. Like, the game is so hyper realistic. I'm glad my horse's testicles shrivel up when I walk in the snow, but why isn't it fun? I literally gave that game a 6 out of 10 because yeah, the story is great, but it should have been a movie or a TV show. You could not pay me to play that game again. Without a doubt, Red Dead Redemption 2 is the most overrated game I have ever touched. That is it, ladies and gentlemen, for 10 more things that I find incredibly overrated. Let me know where you agree. Let me know where you disagree. I always like to see who I offended. Anyway, I am gonna hop off and get this edited so you guys can watch it on time. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. Check my Twitch out this weekend. I plan to be streaming again. And as always, I will see you in the next upload.